Someone in my live stream this morning said that people who are new to advocacy work really lack resources, tangible action items on what to do to get started. And broad advice like join a local group or organize your workplace can be overwhelming, especially when there's no tangible action items beyond find a group. This is a non-exhaustive list. This is my non-exhaustive list of general recommendations. I've set up my link page here to break this up a little bit. Okay, buckle up everyone. We're going to talk about stuff that TikTok does not like, so interact in these comments. My link page has tabs. We're going to go through them. Now, the advice that I am going to give you centers around free actions, so anyone can take these actions, okay? Now, heads up, a lot of what I'm going to be telling you to do involves a lot of reading, but we're going to start in my climate section. And you're going to scroll down and you can see here, there's a lot of drop-down menus. We're going to start with articles and resources, get you up to date on a lot of really important concepts when it comes to navigating the climate action arena. Because the rules are specific here and it's good to know what these are. I've talked about all of those in a series of videos. These are different videos that I think are great resources and talk about important topics. Here's some voting resources when it comes to climate specific voting resources. Wow, I said that badly, but that's relevant right now. Okay, so climate groups. So these are a series of climate groups from all over the United States. Some of them are from Canada, some of them are global. So find groups that you resonate with, check them out, check their mission statements. If you agree with them, you like what they do, find them on social media, amplify their posts, go into their comment sections, share a bunch of love with them. You'll often find me in the comment sections of their social media posts doing just that. This way we can set the tone for the comment sections on their posts. And when they do protests, like many of them are right now in New York, they are taking on Citibank and their fossil fuel ties. You can help their videos reach a much wider audience, thus having their protest make a bigger impact. You can follow them as many as you like, or you can keep it location specific, whatever works best for you. Okay, now you're done going through the climate section. Book list. Yes, more reading. We gotta do it. At the top is going to be books mostly about Indian boarding school history and Native history. If you scroll down, there's going to be topics covering climate mostly. Very much recommend manufacturing consent. That's a big one right now. We've got the petroleum papers, but specifically Anointed with Oil. This book fundamentally changed my understanding of navigating the climate, here we go, of climate action. Understanding the relationship between the church as an organization, and the oil industry, because the relationship is deep and it is critical to understand this when you go and try and break up their propaganda. It's written by Darren Dochuk. He is a history professor at Notre Dame. So yeah, you want to be correct, you want to have good citations that people can't argue with, here you go. Okay, so now you've done all the reading. What next? Well, more reading. Yes, we're going to do more reading. Next tab. Indian boarding schools. We're going to do more reading. Yes. More reading. So much more reading. This is about understanding what happened, and it will impact your work, and it's necessary. This is the Lost Alaskans project. My dad's been consulting on it. It is related to Indian boarding school repatriation work. Lots of reading, some videos. Land back. I also have a lot of resources for land back for folks who want to understand how that movement operates. But apart from potentially buying a lot of books, those are free actions that anyone can take, and navigating that space, understanding really big concepts, and then following these groups that are organizing and doing the work on social media If the opportunity arises for you to go support in person in some capacity, you will feel more confident doing so. Ideally, after you've been following these groups on social media, some of their faces won't be so new. Some of them might be pretty familiar. Maybe you've interacted with some of them on social media in comment sections. Does the work end with this? No, absolutely not. In fact, there are infinite possibilities and directions that you can go from there. And all of it helps. It is also incredibly important for you to reconnect with your community. Voting in your local elections. That's incredibly relevant and important right now. For me, reconnecting with my community involves going back to Sitka, and you guys helped me do just that. I've been attending Indigenous conferences and checking in with the folks that I am trying to help and making sure I'm on the same page and communicating what they need. Something that we should all take time to do. And there are ways that people can get involved and help. Very tangible steps. Sharing posts on social media, signing petitions, going to protests. All of these are great and should be done on top of critical but subtle changes in behavior by the greater population. There are moves being made by the Indigenous community right now that are not and won't be possible without ally support. U.S. Indian boarding schools has a bill, two bills actually, making its way through Congress. H.R. 7227 and S. 1723 are both about the Truth in Healing Commission. That's the next step of investigations on a federal level. The Department of Interior's second volume, their final report on their investigation into the federally funded Indian boarding schools, revealed that $23.3 billion was invested into this system. And there are over 1,000 other institutions across the United States that served in the same capacity or similar capacities as Indian boarding schools. They were named in the second volume. There are more schools that are being discovered, more institutions that are being investigated. The scope and scale of the Indian boarding school investigations is huge in the United States, and I don't have words to communicate it properly. I have been caught up in my own grief and my own sadness about it because my grandmother was an Indian boarding school survivor and I found her name in the National Indian Boarding School Archives. The Indigenous community is going through a kind of generational grief that I don't think the English language has words for. And if you've made it to this far in the video, congratulations, thank you. And to everyone who has been doing the things this whole time, an even bigger thank you. I know that there's a lot happening all at once right now, and there's a lot of very valid things to grieve and be angry about, but I need you to take solace in the knowledge that change has already happened. Good change. Progress has been made, and more progress is coming. It's already here. Okay? Hold on to that. The evidence is in the pages of the books that I recommended you go read. Now, I can already hear the theory bros coming into my comment section going, theory isn't everything. This isn't theory, guys. This is establishing and understanding perspective, events, and what really happened. It will make your work better. Now go, fly, my pretties.